You guys are fucking nerds.
You're the one that references Pokemon every week.
Yeah, but Pokemon's like, it's part of the, pop culture of the world. Like, it's part of, it's not a video game thing anymore. It's become so big that you can't really just call it that. Everybody knows what Pokemon are. They know all about the men poking across the land.
Yeah. No. I know this because I know for a fact that 1 out of the 4 people on this show don't know or give a fuck about Pokemon and love to make fun of it. Like, that's Ryan. So you already don't have him. But luckily he's not on this episode, so I guess you have free reign.
Hi, I'm Benedict Cumberbatch, and there's a national epidemic. 1 out of every 4 podcast hosts has no idea or talks way too... God damn it, I fucked it up. 3 out of 4 podcast hosts.
Can that be our open, Bob?
It is now.
Oh, I love it. I love it.
All rise and welcome to Word Rango, the game show where dictionary definitions produce knowledge and comedy. 4 words enter, 1 word leaves and is crowned champion. Our steely nerve competitors, a writer, another writer, a voice actor, and that other guy. And now it's gloves off and set your dictionaries to fun. It's time for Word Rango. Here's your host, Mike Suzak.
Welcome to Word Rango. My name is Mike Suzak. It's episode 59 of this fantastic comedy game show where we introduce words and their definitions. It sounds weird, but we've been doing this for well over a year now, and it seems like it's been, I'd say, nothing short of a success story. We've been nominated as Time's most influential podcast. I'm just going to drop that on you guys right now. I am not definitely not lying about that. Nope. I don't know if they even do that award. Honestly, they should, and it should be us. And it's
Don't look that up.
It's because what we do is we bring the English language to life. And if we get enough support and funding, we could probably bring another language to life. But
Latin. Ooh, Sanskrit.
and these 2 educators that I'm with are Bob Ball.
I've been on jury duty all week.
Dave Hinkle.
Guilty!
I am not guilty.
And normally here's where I'd say Ryan Lewis. Ryan's out this week. We had scheduling issues, basically. Just couldn't get him in. Yeah.
Is he on jury duty too?
I think so. And he must be. And so instead of 4 words, because normally we'd each bring a word to the table every week, we're going to have 3. And we're going to, we'll find ways to continue educating you people.
If I bring 2 words, do I get extra points?
Nope. Oh, man. No. But I can tell everybody that last week, Dave won with word corn. Which is such a great, looking back at just last week's words. And I feel like the last month, 2 months, I've constantly said, what a great week for words. Might be one of our best weeks. We really have been on a tear of great weeks. Every once in a while, there are these really not so great weeks, and I think it's because we're piling all our word energy into individual weeks. And last week was one of those. Word corn really, it deserved the win. It led the way. I really liked Wood, and I also really liked my own, which was Gedanken Experiment. I mean, holy shit, we did so good. Dave, I think word corn, it's possible it's, at this point, I could actually do like top 5s and it would mean something. It's got to be a top 5 word from you. I really
appreciate that. I feel like that too. It's just so crazy because it works on so many levels, right? Like, it's just a fun word to say, and it also kind of has the word in it. And on top of it, it just reflects how I like to choose words, and that's basically words that would allow me to distort and alter reality in the way in which I'd want to do it. And word corn is basically giving the government corn so your kid doesn't get killed in Vietnam. And
that's like the best. That's one of the funniest definitions. One of the funniest, most unbelievable definitions we've had on the show. And I'm setting all of this up because you, as a result of winning last week, you get first word this week. And I'm just saying, when you have such a strong week, coming off of that is really difficult. It's like the opposite of Andy Reid after a bye week. There
sports demo, I like it. Get that sports demo.
That's what I'm trying to do here. I'm trying to expand a little bit.
Improving our SEO by just so much.
I just dropped
Add them stats, yo.
Right. What I'm doing is I'm targeting the biggest coach in the NFL. Like, literally. Dave, please tell me, what's your word this week?
All right, my word this week, and I really appreciate you just stacking the boxes up to just build me up so I can fall down so much harder.
That's exactly what I'm doing.
But my word this week is chouse.
Chouse?
Chouse.
Chouse.
Is that like house, but with a CH at the front instead of just an H?
No, baby, my word this week is chouse.
How do you spell this?
Well, aren't you supposed to guess?
Well, I think
how the show goes?
I'm counting Bob's as a guess,
Okay.
as the guess for this.
Okay. So chouse is CHOUSE. Chouse.
So it is house
Yes.
with the C at the
I
front.
wasn't going to let you win that quickly. I had to milk it a bit, man. It's a comedy show. You got to bring the chortles and the guffaws for the people.
What are you, an idiot? Of course it's not CHOUSE. It's CHOUSE. You dumbass.
Again, distorting reality to suit my needs.
All right, so I have to just chouse.
Chouse. Chouse.
Let it all out. I know that we've done that with, when you have, this is one of those Dave Hinkle patented sounds really funny kind of words, you know? Wow. Bob, I guess I'm going to have to go to you first. I'm at a little bit of a loss. I feel like I've got a little bit of a lead, but not quite. I wonder...
Hey, this weekend, my parents are out of town. Let's have a chouse party. So, chouse. I've got this.
Okay.
I've been on jury duty all week last week.
I can tell what Bob's theme this week is.
I did so much good work, people. So much good work. You don't know it, but I saved the world. And did you know in Seattle that you can not only serve on a jury for local crimes, but you can serve on one for galactic crimes?
Oh, boy.
I know. I bet you didn't. This past week, I was on a jury for these three space criminals who were, they had like this super long rap sheet, like murder, insurrection, and if I remember right, kitten treason, I think was one of them. Anyway, the trial was pretty short, with like one big outburst from the defendants. Kind of scary. I mean, this lead guy stood up in court and yelled, "Kneel before Zod!" Fortunately, I was sitting down in the jury box, so I really, couldn't kneel. Plus, he was in no position to demand anything, being on trial for kitten treason. Anyway, the evidence was overwhelming. Each member of the jury had to cast their verdict. Fortunately, there was only three of us. Guilty! 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 And then they were sent off to the Phantom Zone, and that is chouse.
I don't know what the hell just happened exactly. I guess I should be used to that, but I guess you got some intergalactic crimes going on, people yelling guilty. All right.
And kitten treason.
Oh, and treason happens.
Kitten treason. It's a little treason. It's not... it's a fluffy treason that you really just want to pet and So...
Okay.
There you go.
All right.
Enjoy your Phantom Zone, Zod. Boom.
All right. Chouse. So I think... I kind of had to break this one up. I've been trying to not do that as much, actually, to try and just be more imaginative, but I can't do it today. So, so when I see the word chouse, obviously I see house, but what I actually do is I take that CH off.
Wait, did you see what you did there? What you see is
house.
Yeah. See house?
Yes, of course I did that on purpose. When I take the CH off, I just see ouse. And what I think of is I think of a louse, which, as we know, is like a small insect, but it's also like a bad, cruel kind of person, according to Sexy Merriam-Webster. I just wanted to make sure that I'm putting the actual definition out there for louse. I don't think anybody's going to come to the table with louse in a given week, so I can kind of get away with that. But I figured if you're a bad person, you're a louse. All right. What if you're a chouse? That has to be maybe a more specific kind of bad person. Like you're really being contemptible. You're really rubbing people the wrong way.
You gotta stop rubbing, dog. You're rubbing too much. Too much.
maybe you're Margaret Cho. Maybe you're Margaret Chouse. So
controversial comedian Margaret Cho.
Yes, of Korean ancestry, according to Wikipedia. She's a comedian. She's Margaret Cho. She's got a bunch of tattoos, and she really is just out there, like she will tell it like it is. I am Margaret Cho. And she always does the, some of her funniest stand-up skits is when she talks like her mom, which is like a old Korean woman accent that she busts out. And it's, she's just one of those comedians. But the thing is what people don't know about Margaret Cho is that she is a real nasty person in her day-to-day life. And that makes her a chouse. She is the sort of person that, she parks in handicap spots intentionally, like circles around the parking lot until they're open. I need to make sure I'm taking this up for people so others can't use it. I guess, I don't know, probably, the sort of person that does the sort of nuisance pranks too, like the... letting the air out of people's tires and lighting sacks of shit on fire on your doorstep and ringing the doorbell. And she's just a real chouse, and I think part of it is this sort of describes the attitude that people get as they become, those B+, A- level like celebrities. Nobody looks at Margaret Cho and says, oh my God, most famous person in the world. She's not a superstar.
Her mom probably does.
Her mom does. But at the same time, she's a well-known comedian and lots of people know her. So it's sort of like she's elevated to that point in her life and her career where she thinks, you know what? I don't owe anyone anything. I can be a real chouse to people and I can get away with it because I'm Margaret Cho. I'm Margaret Chouse. And so, I hate to only point fingers at Margaret Cho, but it's basically all like, this is all about her. Like
it's not just her.
Of course not.
We all have that chouse in our life.
I think so. Yeah.
I liked playing the video games when I was younger, like 14, 15. You'd ride your bike over to Pizza Hut when they actually still had arcade consoles.
Yeah.
This real chouse, and Scott, I would love to use your last name because I'm pretty sure you're still a jerk. So I would park my 10-speed outside of the Pizza Hut or the Hut, and this one day I came out. He had been in there and left. And I went out. Both of my tires were flat. And it's like a mile and a half to my house. And I was pretty sure it was him. So the next time I was there, he shows up because he lived 2.5 blocks away. He probably just lives in their dumpster. Don't ya, Scott? Anyway, I walked outside. That chouse, and boy, I would like to use more colorful language right now, was letting the air out of my tires again. Scott, if you're listening and you have a family, I hope they do that to your car.
Yeah,
daily.
There you go.
You chouse.
Let it out.
And that story wasn't funny, but it was cathartic.
No, see, and maybe that's what you need to do is you need to chouse. Let it all out. So maybe that's part of this whole thing. Because I was also thinking, maybe what separates chouses from louses, and I don't know if it means that while they're doing the act of being a chouse, they're also speaking in a stereotypical, pretty shitty Korean accent, I guess. Are they doing that? Or maybe chousing is also our way of venting about the people that have been chouses to us in the past. Dave, do you have a quick? There's only 3 of us this week. We have time. Do you have a quick example of someone that's been a chouse to you, perhaps?
No, my life has been perfect and everything except for.
Well, I know that's not true.
My father.
Oh, okay. What about your father? Sit down on this couch here and tell me about your father.
Oh, I just feel like he doesn't respect me.
Why doesn't he respect you? Do you think?
I don't know. He just always says, I don't respect you. That's pretty much the only words he'll say to me for 15 years here. That's all he says. I mean, I come home and I say, "Hey, Dad, how's your day?" And he says, "I just don't respect you." And yeah, it's tough.
He just calls once a day, says that, and hangs up.
Yeah, pretty much. I mean, the first year was pretty rough. I mean, I cry a lot, but now it's just like, it's reassuring. It's like nice to know. It's like, oh, hey, my dad's alive another day. So that means that life can only get better.
He cares enough to call and hate me.
Well, good.
Chows.
I guess that's chows.
Chows.
All right, Dave, why don't you tell us? What do you think? What do you think?
Well, I think based on the definition I've read of chows.
I'm so used to... See, the thing is when I make mistakes like this, it's because I'm so used to there being 3 people giving guesses that when I get to the third one, it's like, oh, wait, nope, Ryan's gone.
I can guess again if you want.
Nope, that's not what I want. I'm waiting for Ryan to text me back if he has any guesses for chows. We'll get back to that later. See, I'm just letting people in on how I do things, It's not as fancy or as, well done as you might think.
This is how the chouse is made.
This is exactly how the Margaret chouse is made. A man and a Korean woman meet, and they make a Margaret chouse.
Together, they build a chouse, the chouse of their dreams.
Our chouse is in the middle of the street.
Our chouse.
It's in the middle of the...
Oh, that's good.
So, I guess, what? Is it Bob Vila, this old chouse? Is that what it is?
Little chouse on the prairie.
Full chouse.
Full chouse.
Full chouse is the best. Full chouse is good.
Full chouse is a really good one.
It's the regular cast of Full House, but the little girls are both Margaret Cho.
Little twin Margaret Cho's.
I would like to change my definition.
They're just doing the Asian accent over and over again the whole time. Oh, how rude!
That's cheap comedy, man. Margaret Cho is better than that. She goes for the highbrow laughs. Yeah, even at a young age, even at a young, tender age, her intellect was far greater than her peers.
Yeah, well, she also ruined that by
about Margaret Cho.
She also ruined that by pushing an old woman down the stairs once. Okay, so that's where we are with Margaret Chouse. Dave, what does chouse mean?
Well, chouse is an interesting word. It's got 2 definitions. They're both verbs. The one that's more applicable to us here in the Western world is it originated in 1904, and it means to drive or herd roughly. So it's like if you got to get them hog on up the hill, and it's 1904, and you're out on the plains, and you're like, oh, the sun's coming down, I got a podcast to record, then you churd the shit out of them hogs. You get them nice and wild, and you get them riding right up the hill. So, that means being a little rough with them.
Nice.
But the older use, which has a Turkish descent from the late 1600s, is a transitive verb, and it means to cheat or trick, deriving from Turkish for doorkeeper, messenger. This is all care of sexymerriam-webster.com. Huh. And I just think it's a pretty interesting word. Like, not only is it fun to just be like chouse, and now to say full chouse. Like, if I'm ever playing like shuffleboard with a friend and they get a hanger and they like win the game, I'm just gonna be like, full chouse, bro. And like, that's just that's something I'm gonna have in my lexicon. It's like whenever you win by a great deal, it's gonna be like slapping cards on the table, full chouse.
So good.
Yeah, it's just a really interesting, good word that's just fun to say. It doesn't have a laugh out loud hilarious definition, but
no, it has one of those interesting ones. I think, like, and I love how the 2 definitions you told us vary so wildly from one another. Because sometimes we have these ones where it's like, okay, here's one definition, then the second one, they're kind of similar, but like it's almost like these words are completely different then. I like that. I think that's really cool. And I also like the fact that really does fit in with Margaret Cho's attitude just on life and how she's just such a mean-spirited person.
Just a Turkish doorkeeper.
Yep, basically. Thanks a lot, Margaret Cho. Bob, we'll have you go next. I'll take last word again this week. What is your word this week?
The lucky Pierre word this week, my friends, is louse.
No, it isn't.
No, it's not.
Okay, it's not. My word this week is bailiwick. Bailiwick. Starts with a bail and ends in a lowick.
B-A-Y-L-I-W-I-C-K. What is it?
It is B-A-I-L-I-W-I-C-K.
Bailiwick.
Bailiwick. Or if you prefer, bailiwick.
Bailiwick.
But it's bailiwick.
B-A-I-L-I-W-I-C-K.
Yes.
Huh. Dave, what do you think bailiwick means?
Well, bailiwick is easy. It's like, so if you have a gas stove and like you turn the burner and it's like going to clickety clack clack keek cock keek keek and it's not fucking lighting, it's not burning up. What do you do? Like you go get a match or you go get a lighter and you light it, and that's how you get the fire started. So if you're a dragon who's been out and just burning the shit out of English countrysides, kidnapping princesses, just grabbing so much gold for your cave lair, you wake up the next day, you're a little hungover, and you find out like, oh, my spark's gone out, my pilot light is out. So a bailiwick is when a dragon gets a whole bunch of hay, lights it up, and sticks it down in his throat to light his inner pilot light again, and then he can go back out, burn more English countryside, capture more princesses, and just generally be a badass dragon. So that is a bailiwick. It is like a wick for a dragon Zippo, and the dragon is the Zippo, and also it's stealing your princess.
That's pretty fucking cool.
Yeah,
that's
right?
really fucking cool.
I think that's a pretty cool ass definition from a cool dude.
What am I thinking? What's that movie I'm thinking of with the dragon? Is it
Rain of Fire?
Is it the never-ending
Dragonheart?
Never-ending story or something?
No, that wasn't. He wasn't. Well, he was a type of dragon, but he wasn't a real dragon.
We're not talking about this kind of dragon, right? We're talking about a different kind of.
No, we're talking about badass, like straight up evil dragon.
Okay.
Like Field of Dreams dragon.
There was a dragon in Field of Dreams.
Yeah, like Kevin Costner
like
dragon.
Robin Hood, Prince of Thieves dragon.
Like Predator 2, Danny Glover, and New York City dragon. Like that's the kind of dragon we're talking about.
Okay, so I definitely just Googled Kevin Costner dragon, and that leads me to the Dragonfly, the 2002 film starring Kevin Costner. So I guess I'm on the right track there.
Mm-hmm. That one does not sound badass enough.
No, it doesn't.
It does not.
There's not enough dragons that look like or just have the parts of Kevin Costner. Mm-hmm. Like it's sort of like
we need more dragons with Kevin Costner's head. Is that what you're saying?
That's exactly what I'm saying. And so now I like the idea of like they're sort of Zippo-like, and that they have to shove hay and stuff down inside them and light that, and then that's their pilot thing, like you were saying, Dave. Like, I mean, people talk about dragons and shit all the time. People draw dragons and put it all over DeviantArt and then, like, I don't know, probably masturbate or something to them. But, like, I don't think enough people go into, like, the workings of dragons, the supposed, like, anatomical reasonings behind how dragons would operate.
Yeah, like what you just think like a dragon opens its mouth and fire comes out? Like there's a real scientific explanation to it, folks. Like, come on.
Yeah, it's just real hay. Here. It's pretty much hay.
It's hay and just like a
propane.
Yep. Maybe a little flammable gas.
Propane related accessories, right?
Yes.
There you go. See, I was the one that got the King of the Hill reference this week. I'm very proud of that.
And the Boomhauer Award goes to Mike Suzak. The dang old dang say no award, I'll tell you what.
All right. Well, this is a problem because I'm up next. And Lord knows
I didn't give you enough time to think of something.
I really tried to extend that one.
Ooh, you want me to help you?
No, Bob never asked me if I want help again.
Did you know that those trials on TV are exactly like they happen in real life?
Really?
For example, I was on this jury just last week.
Oh, God damn.
When were you on this jury, Bob?
Well, it was last week. I served on several. I wanted to get like several years of public service out of the way at once. Because
several years crammed into 1 week.
Yeah, just crammed in 1 week. You'd be surprised how many juries you can get on in 1 week. This particular trial, it was about a woman who was accused of stealing like a pallet of fish from that famous Pike Place fish market. Apparently she'd done it a day before. Otherwise, my joke won't work. This got to trial real quick, obviously. The prosecuting attorney got up for his opening remarks and said, "Ladies and gentlemen of the jury, I ask you to smell the defendant." Guilty. And that's Bailiwick.
All right, good.
Did that give you enough time? Do you need one more?
Nope.
I can help you.
No, definitely no.
Can I have some?
Because I don't want to subject the listeners to any more jury-related stories that they don't have to naturally encounter.
They love that jury humor.
Jury's out on that.
Case dismissed.
All right, so Bailiwick, I will say that the first part of this definitely refers to Christian Bale. Undoubtedly. First off, let's just talk a little bit about Christian Bale. We love Christian Bale, right? We love Christian Bale as Batman. We love Christian Bale for what he's been in the news for lately. Let's just read a headline quick. Christian Bale describes Moses as barbaric and schizophrenic ahead of Exodus release. Okay, well, that's interesting. So I guess when you are Christian Bailiwick, which is definitely going on with my theme, going from Margaret Chouse to Christian Bailiwick, I would say that means that you are lighting a fire in the religious community as Christian Bale, which he's done throughout his entire career and people haven't noticed necessarily. So let's say when he was in The Dark Knight, people may not remember the time in the middle of the Dark Knight movie, he actually broke the fourth wall, turned to the camera, and he said, "There were actually 11 commandments."
I remember that. That was one of the deleted scenes.
It was definitely one of the deleted scenes. He was also, if we're sticking with Batman, in Batman Begins, Christian Bale, also, again, oddly enough, broke the fourth wall. And then he turned to the camera and he said, "Shiva is your god now." Christian Bale, also, when he was in Shaft, I don't know if people remember, Christian Bale was in Shaft.
He played Shaft, right? He
broke the fourth wall by turning to the camera at one point. And he said something, it was kind of odd. I'm going to have to paraphrase this one, but he said something along the lines of, he broke the fourth wall, turned to the camera, and he said, "Satan will consume your souls. I'm Batman."
He said, "I'm in love with Kelly Kapowski. I froze time. Look at this cell phone." Yeah, like a Saved by the Bell joke.
Yeah.
How old is the average Word Rango listener? Do you get that joke? Do you get that joke, listener?
I don't know. We're gonna have to span like a long kind of like thing here. So I'm going down his IMDb list, and I'm remembering that Christian Bale did a voice in Pocahontas. He was Thomas in Pocahontas. People don't always remember this. The weird thing is that he got the animators to even do this, where his character broke the fourth wall and turned directly to the camera. And Christian Bale lit a fire in the religious community.
That's my favorite part of Pocahontas is that like 15 minutes when he just breaks the fourth wall. It just turns to the camera, a cartoon.
And he began speaking in tongues. And he talked about how he carved 666 into Grandmother Willow.
If you watch the deleted scenes, he's actually just ripped out other people's tongues and is just shaking them at the camera.
Yeah, it's really weird. And it's just so weird that like he got the animators in on that one with him. Christian Bale, I mean, he's had a very long, very storied career, and that career is marked by many, many instances of him really ticking off the religious community.
Just lighting a fire under him.
You know, I guess I'm trying to think of other ones. I mean, he was in 310 to Yuma.
Yep. That's when he turns to the camera and he just says, a woman's body is her temple and her right to choose. And then he just goes back to shooting at Russell Crowe.
Yeah, that's exactly what happened. He broke the fourth wall. A woman's body is her right to choose. I'm Batman.
I'm Batman. Where's Falcone? Oh, my God.
Did you guys ever see American Hustle? Christian Bale's in that. Yeah, I mean, I don't know if you guys remember the scene I'm thinking of. Bob, do you remember it?
I do. It was the one where he and Amy Adams, was that her name? McAdams?
Amy McAdams.
Amy McAdams was...
it's, I believe you are thinking of... Yeah, it's Amy Adams. Yes, Amy Adams.
Okay, he turned to Amy Adams, he punched her in the mouth, and then he flipped over the table, and... something about the temple. Man, I lost it.
Damn it.
No, I remember in American Hustle.
I'll cut that out in post.
I remember in American Hustle when he was all like fat and stuff, and then he turned to the camera and he stopped and he was like, I'm really pissed at that Morgan Spurlock for getting rid of supersizes at McDonald's. It's my right if I want more fries with my burgers. And then he just went back. It was very uncharacteristic of him, you know, because he'd always taken like a highbrow stand.
But that wasn't the most controversial thing he said in the movie, because later on in the movie he broke the fourth wall and turned directly to the camera, looked the lens right in the eye, right in right in like the eye of like the very center of the camera lens. So it was really
right
like
socket.
He was looking at every viewer at this point, right in the middle of the movie. And that's when he said the most controversial thing that Christian Bale has ever said in American Hustle. It's when he said, Jesus and Mary were brother and sister.
Oh, shit, dude.
Dropping
religious bombs.
I got that from one of those Nicolas Cage movies or whatever it was.
My friend Alex Jones told me this.
Have you guys ever read Dan Brown?
Oh my God, dude. I don't know why I find it so goddamn hilarious that every movie Christian Bale just takes a moment, he stops, everybody's just like, what the fuck are you doing? And he just like turns to the camera and he looks at it and he says, you know, just whatever. He says whatever. I should have probably had something funny to say there, but
let's see. Dave, you gave yours. I don't have anything for Brian. So, okay, Bob, please tell us, what does bailiwick mean?
Do you know that bailiwick is awesome? Because it can either mean a special domain, or like your sphere of operations in a particular area, like a couple of us are writers, one of us is a voice actor, that would be our bailiwick. Or you could have been at jury duty all week.
Oh, goddamn. And
it is the office or jurisdiction of the bailiff.
Oh.
Why would you just call it the bail zone?
Yeah. That's better.
So I was disappointed. My bailiff did not have like a bailiff hat and a big leather belt and a gun. My bailiff was like a lady bailiff, and she was like in this white sweater dress and had a scarf and no gun. And do you know that bailiffs do not just laugh at Judge Judy's jokes? They actually have actual duties. Like, every bailiff I've seen on television does nothing but stand there and go, ha ha, that's right.
Yeah, I thought it was just always like some gruff black dude who's like, you know, you give it to him, Judge, and like, let me throw this trash out of here. And, oh, no, you didn't.
See, Dave, you'd make a great TV bailiwick. Bailiff wick.
Yeah.
Christian bailiff wick, I guess. Margaret Chouse. Okay, well, that's a weird... it's so weird that they... First off, bailizone or whatever is so much better than bailiwick as far as the place where the bailiff is. Dave was right on that. So, yeah, that's odd. And it makes sense that you're going to stick with your court theme this week, Bob. It's a cool word, though. I don't know. We've had fun with it. I got nothing.
Oh, don't worry.
The word itself.
I'm gonna drop Law and Order, dun-duns, all through this thing.
Oh shit! I think is that something we're able to do? I don't know. I
just did it right there.
Maybe,
dun, dun.
maybe what you
Did
can
it
do.
again.
Maybe what you can do is increase the pitch a couple notches so that it's more like dun dun, or something. So that way we could say it like it's sort of like
hold on. I mean,
Vanilla Ice sampling.
I'm really good at recreating sound effects. How about this?
Go for it.
Dweedop.
You're close. You're real close.
All right. How about pachoing ding dow?
Man, you are so close.
This is good, but we do need.
How about
rub a little extra Margaret Cho on there, and I think you got it.
All right. How about?
Whoa, that's a motorboat.
I think at
you
this
don't
point,
fool me.
At this point, we're definitely going to have our own Word Rango soundboard, and when we do, Dave's sound effects.
It's all Dave Hinkle.
It's just going to be Dave's sound effects.
We just need a link from E-Bomb's World, and we're just going to make so much internet millions. I'm telling you guys, our soundboard is going to be the shit.
It will be. Just like you need, there's always this little, you need Macromedia Flash 3.0 in order to load the soundboard.
We got to get that E-Bombs bump, and we got to get fucking...
and maybe what we can do is we can make a beat-making program using, Bully Bop. Bully Bop.
That's the next generation of rap right there.
It is.
Awesome.
Sweet. All right, we got one more word this week. I've got last word. My word this week is patness.
Patness?
Patness.
Patness. Dave.
Is that just like it sounds? Is it
No.
P-A-T?
I need Dave to guess the spelling. He hasn't gotten a chance to do that this episode. Bob. -5 points. Dave, how do you think it's spelled?
Damn it.
I think it's Patnus.
No, you had one shot. You fucked it up. Just for that, Bob, for the steal, how do you think it's spelled?
Patness.
You're correct. Patness.
Can I have 5 points?
You get 5 back. I took some from you, so I guess.
Excellent. I just want to stay at sea level.
You are definitely below it, but okay. All right, Bob. We'll start with you. What do you think patness means?
Oh crap! I wasn't ready. Last week I was on trial. One of those big trials, like on CNN or ZNN. Oh. Anyway, it was about this a guy, a real patness, who was accused of murdering his wife and the guy that she was supposedly having an affair with. Anyway, this guy, before being arrested by the cops, had hopped in this white Bronco and had the police on like a 10-mile-an-hour chase. And for our friends who are outside the U.S., it's like 15 or 16 kilometers an hour. So he kept saying he didn't kill his wife. He was very convincing since he'd been a pro football player. He sold me on only renting from Hertz if I needed a car rental. So we, the jury, found him not guilty, but it turned out later that he and his Hollywood doctor had accidentally killed the king of pop with a sedative, and that is patness.
So you were part of O.J. Simpson's jury.
I'm pretty sure I've taken some psychotropic drugs before this show. I'm not even sure what half the stuff I just said was.
Okay.
But actually, the air Bob, tastes like strawberries.
Bob, you're not on a podcast right now. You're in a mental asylum.
Oh, crap. Is this all in my head again?
They're putting the straitjacket on you right now, Bob.
Well, where's Falcone? I want to break a fourth wall.
Where's my medication?
Yeah, I was going to say, is that the point where Dave stared at all the podcast listeners directly? All right, Dave, what do you think patness means?
All right, patness, man, that's a tough one. So, in the spirit of our good friend Quirkin, who is the oddball cousin of the Kraken, or was it a brother? I can't remember.
I think it was younger brother.
His younger brother.
Yeah.
So in that regard, patness is the less qualified, certainly less attractive, and less leadership material. Hunger Games version of Katniss. It's basically the awkward. So Katniss is like the superstar, lady from the District 49 or whatever, and like she has a bow and arrow, and she she goes quail hunting and stuff. And so Patness is like, the really geeky kind of, oh yeah, it's Friday night, I'm just going to get a head start on this homework and get it done before the weekend when I got to go back to school on Monday, and how am I going to kill all this time? And I'm at home on Friday watching Sliders with no friends around. And that's Patness.
Patness Everdeen.
Yeah, I mean, think about the character Pat on SNL. Like, it's kind of like that.
Who's that? It's Pat.
It's like that, but Hunger Games version.
So I
guess she has a bow and arrow. That's about it. It's just basically Pat with a bow and arrow.
It's Pat from SNL with a bow and arrow. Who played Pat from SNL? Let's see. I gotta find this out. Sorry, I know I'm stalling the show.
I'll cut it out in post.
Julia Sweeney. That's one of those classic older sketches from SNL.
Mm-hmm.
Pretty good. She played Mrs. Keeper in the film Stuart Little, voiced Brittany in Father of the Bride, and I remember that movie because at one point Julia Sweeney she broke the fourth wall, and she turned directly to the camera, and she said something about how Allah is no longer something crazy. Really angered people, and it was pretty nuts. Yeah, all right. So Patness Everdeen from the Hunger Games, the Patness games. I don't know where to go with that. That's good. That's really good. Dave, well done. I love the Hunger Games, so it's perfect. People probably want to know, hey, what does Patness mean? Well, I would tell you, except the one fucking thing Ryan ever said back to me was his guess for Patness. And Ryan texted in, he said, your ability to slick your hair back in a way that allows you to win multiple NBA championships as head coach of the LA Lakers.
That's pretty good.
So he thinks channeling your inner Patness is channeling Pat Riley. And I think he's totally right. He's totally right. Yeah. So there. Yeah, Pat Riley was the Lakers guy, right? And I'm thinking of...
No, before that he was the Bulls guy.
No, you're thinking of Phil Jackson.
Oh, I am thinking about Phil Jackson.
I feel like Pat Riley was a whole different... Yeah.
Person?
It was Pat Riley. And he does slick his hair back. Yeah.
Like every game, he broke the fourth wall and looked directly...
into the camera on the like across the basketball court.
And just yelled, "Where's Falcone?
Where's Falcone?" Something else that'll anger the religious crowd. All right, so Patness. I will tell you guys what it means. It is the quality or state of being pat. No shit. Or, in other words, the quality or state of being exactly to the point or purpose, of being apt, opportune. Okay. There are other definitions for this. Excessively glib, unconvincingly facile, learned, facile, learned, known, or mastered, learned, known, or mastered perfectly or exactly. So basically, a lot of those things, your patness is that quality or state of being apt, of being opportune, of getting shit done, right? Of taking advantage of a situation. That's your patness. So it's funny because it's like, people stress being apt, maybe getting to the point and being opportune and making the most of your time, let's say. But like, I think if you want to spin this into the sort of thing that could sell a self-help book at like Barnes & Noble, then it would just be like, Find Your Inner Patness by Pat Riley, And then it's
self-help guru.
Self-help guru. And like whatever 6-time NBA championship coach or whatever the fuck it was.
Yeah, nobody gives a shit about NBA championships.
No, especially not the Lakers. Like, fuck them. But I mean, maybe just it's by Pat from the SNL, Julia Sweeney. Yep. And I don't know, like that. I think that's the sort of concept that could, rule someone's life. Your patness, taking advantage of the situation at hand and the opportunities that present themselves. I think that's a good way to lead your life. You gotta grab the bull by the horns, the Chicago Bulls by the horns. I guess.
And then slam dunk them.
Slam dunk them bulls. Slam them.
That's the thing, right?
Slam dunk them. Patness. So that's my word. That's good. That's great. We gotta get some escalator pitches in. How about that? Dave, you start things out. Give us your escalator pitch really quick for Chouse.
I mean, Chouse is awesome. It's like house, but you get that cha-cha-cha-cha-cha. So you get to, like, twirl your mustache and, like, tie a lady to the tracks and wait for a train to run her over. Like, you get that kind of feeling from the word. But you also get, like, a very multi-ethnic, multicultural sound, too. Like, Chouse could be, like, you know, little Italian there. Or it could be, like, you know, Chouse, like a French. Or it could be, like, you know, Chouse, like a Spanish, you know? Like, it has
like a French Canadian.
Like a French Canadian now. Or, like, Chouse, like a Inuit, you know, or like a house, like German, you know, like it's great. It fits any language. It's like really the skeleton key of languages. It's the skeleton key word of languages, and that's why you should choose Chouse. Will you chouse me?
Bob, your escalator pitch for Bailiwick, please.
I'm pretty sure that Dave just picked up my beverage and polished off the last of my psychotropic drugs.
Probably.
Your elevator pitch made all of my definitions, which make no sense, pale in comparison. Bailiwick. Friends, one of us has done his civic duty in the past week. I served on 13 juries. Everyone was guilty. And I brought you the word bailiwick, which has to do with the bailiff. Look at that thread. Look how much work I did for you, America, and territories that are outside America that soon will be annexed by America. I'm looking at you, China. I'm looking at you. Bailiwick.
I don't know how the hell you think they're going to take all of China. I don't think that'll just work. All right, me, Patness Everdeen. Everybody loves Hunger Games, and Jennifer Lawrence, man, can't get enough of her. And she found her inner Patness, as Patness Everdeen did in the Hunger Games, constantly. And
it really was a coming of age story.
It was. It was very much a coming of age story, and you know, taking advantage of the opportunities that come your way is so important in life. And you know, those opportunities, they can pass you by really quick. But you have to find your inner Patness. You got to turn to page 145 of my book, Find Your Inner Patness by Pat Riley by Mike Suzak. Like, it's I was the ghostwriter for Pat Riley's Find Your Inner Patness. And
forward by Butch Cassidy and the Sundance Kid.
Yep. Yeah. I'm trying to think of other Pats and coming up short, honestly.
Step 1, buy some hair goop. Step 2, dip your head in the hair goop.
Step 3, slick that son bitch back. Slick it. Slick it, find your inner Patness. And and by all means, it's a funny word to say, because the second you hear it, it's like, oh, that's a name with ness on it. But it's like, no, it works. And I'm not just talking like Yumi and Dupree, where you find your inner whatever ness. It actually is a thing. I'm not just some Hollywood guy who happens to be brothers with what's his face, Andrew Wilson, I think.
Christian Bale.
And Christian Bale. I'm just saying, Patness, that's a thing. It's a real thing, and it is finding that opportunity within yourself. So that's Patness. Everybody should care about it. Everybody should follow that principle in life. I brought the most important word out of the three. That's how I feel. That's why I think it should get the votes. But it's not up to me who votes. Well, it's up to me who votes, but I can't tell you guys what to vote for. So let's start with you, Dave. You have to give me your number 1, number 2, and number 3 choices this week. You have to pick between Bailiwick and Patness.
Yeah, I gotta go with Bailiwick. I think Patness was too easy. Like, I feel like I just kind of came to that so quickly. And admittedly, I came to bailiwick pretty quickly too, but it was a word that inspired me more, and therefore was a better word.
All right, that's fair. You're wrong, but that's fair. Bob, you have to pick between Patness and Chouse.
I believe earlier you said you can't tell me what to vote for.
No.
So I vote for bailiwick.
No.
Bam.
No,
lawyered.
you dumbass. I said that I can tell
Objection! Overruled.
I'm just going to take your vote away. How about
Bob's
that?
holding a court in his own mind right now. And he's the bailiff. He's the judge. He's the person drawing the pictures. He's the weird guy who hangs out in the courtroom and watches a bunch of trials every day.
Yep.
Anybody want to see my gavel? Yeah. Fine. If I can't vote for bailiwick,
no, you can't.
Which I totally did.
You didn't.
I'm gonna vote for Chouse.
All right.
My Chouse, in the middle of my bailiwick, my Chouse.
And that leaves me, and I gotta say, it's pretty easy choice. Really good.
Bailiwick.
You know, no, it's absolutely Chouse. It is absolutely Chouse. Bailiwick was fun. We had a lot of fun. Christian Bale is definitely staring directly into the camera right now as I make this pick. But I have to say though that when you have Margaret Cho and you're just being a total asshole and you're cheap trick, you're the band Cheap Trick. It's that sort of thing where, yeah, you can drop Chouse. And Dave's right. It does fit into it just slides right into your lexicon. It slides right into that vocabulary as something that you will use at some point, that you will bust out at house parties and people like, oh, that's right, motherfucker, you're a Chouse, you know? Now flip that cup. And that's, and that's like, you know, that fits for me. I think it fits everything that we've talked about so far. I think probably. I don't know. Congrats, Dave. You win this week with Chouse.
Yeah.
Good stuff.
Chouse.
Good stuff. Bob, if people want to get in touch with us and stare directly into the camera while they do so, how do they do that?
Oh, friends, if you are feeling the patness, you could email us at wordrango@gmail.com, where we got Obo Crazy that said, "Hello, wordsmiths. While I agree with Mike, that all 4 words in episode 56 are outstanding, there is only one word I've been tempted to use on a daily basis. It is sometimes difficult to resist the temptation to yell, Rejectamenta! when dealing with the detritus of daily life, but just imagining the 4 of you screaming it at the top of your lungs has made me smile. So for what it's worth, I'd cast my vote for Rejectamenta!
Yeah, that's a good one. That continues to be a good one.
Yeah.
Keep up the good work, you slang wangers. Obo Crazy. Also, you can hit us up on the Twitter, the Facebooks. You know what? If you want to, this week, you should tell your friends, hey, buddy. Hey, buddy.
Hey, I'm talking to you.
Look at me. I'm breaking the 4th wall right now. Hey, buddy. I think you should listen to this show on the iTunes. Why? Because you should listen to this review right here. From my friend, Cree-Cree-Tee-Tee! who said, get on the ground floor, guys. So, if you're a guy, get on the ground floor. Why aren't you listening to this podcast yet? Do you want to be one of those
3, 4, get your guys on the ground floor. Gonna get up, get word Rango. Gonna get up, good word Rango.
Why aren't you listening to this podcast yet? Don't you want to be one of those people that can say, yeah, I listened to that show before it was famous?
But not
because
before it was
I'm going to be saying that, mark my words.
Cool.
Every week we're treated to Bob Ball's smooth, dulcet tones as he whisks us away on a tangential story about a word that doesn't really define it at all.
Correct.
Followed by co-hosts, inventing the most delightfully grown-tastic definitions based solely on their sound.
Is this stuff you're saying now, or is this stuff that he's writing?
No, this is the review.
No, it's not.
It is?
I used to believe it. Okay.
Well, you go to iTunes
it's the
and
most
look up word
eloquent
Rango.
review that's ever been written on iTunes.
Apparently,
Ever.
Yeah.
Ever. Where else can you find out the word Algor means, ironically, a sensation of coldness while getting your fill of early noughts presidential race humor? Nowhere. That's where. So subscribe now while you can still get Bob Bald and mispronounce both your given name and your Twitter handle on the air.
FYI, guys, I just joined Twiddle. It's pretty good. You guys should get on there.
Is that the same as Elo at all? Because
no, actually, it's an analog app. You just basically like close your hands and then you twiddle your thumbs around and you like watch people walk down the street and you make casual observations to yourself and you look at food and that kind of stuff.
Sit on benches, throw bird seed at pigeons.
Yeah, and throw hateful stares at kids, teenagers that are
cameras.
On the grass. Yeah.
Right at cameras.
So this week, I challenge you all. This week, put your friends who haven't listened to Word Rango on trial by giving them this link, bit.ly/try-word-rango.
We keep directing people to that, and they should know that's like an early clip of the show. It's great. It's nice little, early stuff, but we've had so much we've built on, and I want to see if we can get like a new blend of like trial stuff for people to check out. Because one thing they can do, go to our SoundCloud page. We've got a couple of different clips that we've uploaded to that too that people can check out. Nice little easy links that you can send to people. Another one, bit.ly/wordrango, and that takes you right to our iTunes page where you could leave a much more eloquent and tasteful
Good
review
luck.
than that. Because clearly Bob was just typing that out like while saying it out loud. Yeah, and that's great. And if you Bob mentioned Twitter and Facebook before. It's at Word Rango, and I know you probably figured that, but it feels good to say it. At Word Rango on Twitter. And yeah, tweet us and get in touch with us. I see the download numbers, and like for the number of people that we like calling out every week and having fun with and just interacting with, there's a lot more of you. And don't be shy. We love talking with people and knowing, like, I want to know what your favorite words are in a given week.
Yeah.
Because it's so funny. We come to this show, and sometimes there are actually weeks where I look back at what won, and the word that really sits with me is a different word entirely sometimes. And I don't know. I think that sort of shit's really interesting to me.
Well, look, here's the thing. You let us in your hard drive. Now let us in your heart.
Oh, there you go.
Just open up and let us in.
Let us in that
open
hard
up and
drive.
defrag that thing. Yeah.
Defrag my heart. I don't know what song that was supposed to be.
You know what?
It should be one.
Your heart is always going to be very solid state to me. Like it's, that boot speed's going to be super slick, super fast. You're
colormecharm.exe.
We should really save some of this for Valentine's Day.
We will. Trust me. We'll just retread it. I guarantee it. And that's it.
Yeah.
Do all that.
So
share
the show with a friend.
It really does help a lot. The reviews
share
help
with
a
an
bunch.
enemy. I don't care.
Yeah, and just think of it this way: we have over a year of episodes sitting there, just chilling, waiting for you to share with a friend. So.
And I appreciate Choctaw for the review. That's really nice of them. We'll be back next week. We'll have not 3, hopefully 4 words for you guys and their definitions and lots of other zaniness. This has been Word Rango. I'm Batman. This is Batman.
Eat more pizza.
What?
Just eat more pizza. Like you're not eating enough pizza.
Did someone tell you to say that at the end of the show, you asshole?
No, man.
Stupid, Dave.
It's a deeply held personal belief, motherfucker.
I bet you had some friend that was like, "Hey, Dave, try and sneak this in at the end of the episode."
Oh, so, yeah. Hey, Dave,
we're not
can you
ending
sneak
on
something
that.
into your own goddamn show?
Yeah. Hey, Dave, I want you to try and sneak in. I'm working at Papa Murphy's right now. Sneak in a shout out to me, okay? I'm at Papa John's.
God damn it.
I'm not wrong, am I? Am I wrong? That's what I thought. We'll be back next week. 4 words. There. That's it.
4 slices, 1 pie.
Damn it, Dave!
Nom 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 nom.
You know what I saw the other day?
What's that?
I saw The Dark Knight Rises, and right in the middle, Christian Bale, he broke the 4th wall.
why that's so fucking funny.
He looked right in the camera, and I swear I heard him say, "Where's Falcone?" And that's all he said. I'm like, wait, no, you didn't.
No, actually, I saw that. He was asking, "Where's my calzone?" I got a bat hunger.
Where's the mascarpone? Where's My Little Pony?
Where did they bury Al Capone?